This is a custom aluminum vacuum chamber with a cassette module with a door O-ring seal, cassette with plates in it, large chamber with a linear handler with an end effector. Cassette module is milled out of a single piece of aluminum. It has a Brooks cassette elevator. Mounted to the bottom of it. The frame is welded steel, powder coated black. The cassette module has a large right angle pumping port, no pump, with an O-ring seal. The top of the linear transport chamber has a viewport or an attachment for some kind of inspection or treatment. The end effector is operated by a large worm screw actuator. I believe it's magnetically coupled through the wall at this point. The lid is secured with Allen screws, probably a large O-ring. The frame is on wheels with feet. A lot of small components are included. The ground bar, various cables, an emergency power off that has to be rigged to the power distribution center for whatever you do with this. You see the cables running down here. I'm not sure which ones are for the automation, which ones are just left over. This thing was disinstalled or deinstalled from a working facility. We're not sure what it was used for. The listing will have serial numbers for the major components, the screw drive and the Brooks elevator, and some still photos. There's another shot of the cassette Loadlock. You can see the pumping port at the back end. It's a bellows elevator assembly, steel bellows. Custom handle on the door. Actually, the other part of this handle still exists, and it's with the tool. You can see the handle apparently assembles and latches at the bottom and top to secure the door once you've loaded it. What looks like a slot valve seal on the side, the other side of the cassette Loadlock, opposite the end effector. I don't believe the end effector reaches all the way through to that. That may be another port for I don't know what. And then there's several ports on the Loadlock, probably for gauges, Pirani, and vent gas, things like that. Looks like the main transfer chamber with that houses the end effector and its linear actuator pumps through the same port as the Loadlock. There's no valve between the Loadlock and the transfer chamber. Frame's well made, pretty substantial. The chambers themselves are well made, machined from single block aluminum with plates for lids. Could be a nice. This could be a nice piece of R&D equipment for people who have several samples that they can put into a cassette. Here's a view through the port. This may be an access port for bringing plates into the load lock without opening the front door. The front door may only be opened maybe when a new cassette is put in. It looks like the cassette can be loaded with plates. Actually, it looks like, yeah, the cassette can be loaded with plates through the door, but the plates apparently could be transferred in vacuum through this, from another vacuum chamber through this slot valve. Not exactly sure how people use this vacuum chamber system. And the listing will include the dimensions and the serial numbers of the large components. It was made to, looks like it was made to face into the room from this side here. With its emergency power off button on the same side as the load lock. Okay.